Hi, I'm Annie and I make the Travel Mama UK vlogs, and this one is about a 2-night party cruise which we did on the Msc Virtuosa in May 2025. And I call it a party cruise because quite often they're sold as sort of like taster cruises, or they were originally, and they are quite different to a 7-night, 14-night cruise in my opinion. Lots of similarities, but it is generally something that people book to try out a cruise, or they might book it like we did because it's a great way of pulling together lots of different people from lots of different backgrounds from all over the UK, especially if you don't want to fly, and you can get together on this amazing ship and explore the different bars and the different shows and other activities it has to offer. And it's quite cost effective as well. So why did we book? We booked because we're all going on a Hindu. So there were 15 of us, age ranges from around 19 to 70 plus, and a real mix of people. Most of us had never been on a cruise ship before. I have many times, as had one of the other ladies, but the rest were brand new to cruising. And we thought this would be a really good idea because we had the dates that we wanted to go. We didn't really want to fly anywhere, but we did want to go somewhere that had lots to do, could support all different dietary needs, all different activity levels, and we could all just be together and celebrate and do something a bit different. So yeah, we booked an Msc Virtuosa 2-nighter cruise sailing out of Southampton in May, and I'm going to show you the different bars, the shows, the restaurants, everything we got up to. Now, it was 48 hours, so you can't do a whole ship in that time, but I have been on the Virtuosa before, and I've been on the Grandiosa, which is pretty much the same. So hopefully I can talk to all the different areas, even if we didn't get to go to them on those 2 nights themselves.
Sailing from Southampton is super easy. You can pay for parking at the port, so your car's taken away. You give your bags to the luggage attendants. You walk up the gangway, you go through this bit of security here. The queues were massive, but it moved the whole time. It was so efficient. You're through every check you need within 30 minutes in most cases, and you're then at a bar having a glass of bubbles, celebrating, or doing whatever you want to do. Go to the buffet, go look around the ship, whatever it is that you want to do. Compare that to getting to an airport, going through bag drop, going through security, waiting for passport control, waiting to fly, landing, doing the same at the other end. I love sailing from Southampton. You can't get to every destination in the world. Of course, I still fly to lots of places, but when I can sail from Southampton, this is why, and especially when you travel with kids. But on this occasion, I was not travelling with kids. I was on a Hindu, and there was 15 of us ladies all trying to find each other and meet up, and about to start what was going to be 2 days of pure fun and excitement. As soon as you board the ship, in my opinion, the best thing to do is head straight to the buffet. The queues get really big later. You will be shown where to wash your hands. Please do that before you go in. And then the buffet is a massive selection of all different things. Don't just go to the first bit of tray and pick up the tray and get in that queue. No, walk through. Lots of it's repeated. There's trays nearer the back. Also, there's so much more seating at the back, especially at the back here where you can sit outside. And if the weather allows you to, it's literally my favourite spot to sit on the ship to eat some food or breakfast or whatever it might be. There aren't many formal activities happening until the evening, so it's more about getting to know the ship, enjoying the outdoor spaces. There was a DJ on, it was a sail away, getting ready for the sail away party, which on most cruise lines they'll do a sail away party. That's where the cruise leaves port and everyone normally goes on top deck and cheers as we pull away. It was great because there was so many other cruise ships in Southampton that day as well. We were right next to Independence of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean ship. We could see everyone on there, and there were lots of places available to eat. So not just a buffet, there was like a burger and hot dog place here, and you could just see that so many people just exploring and enjoying the ship, all different groups of friends and families. There were quite a few Hindus on there as well. We were saying hello to those, and everyone was really friendly and really nice.
And the cruise seemed like the best option because it meant there was absolutely something for everybody, whether it was dietary requirements or different activities for different people's activity levels, etc. So the next thing was picking what types of room and drinks packages we wanted. In our group, every single person booked the inclusive drinks package. It just made a lot of sense for what we were there to do. You don't have to do that. If you don't get a drinks package, you just pay as you go. Now, one of the other things, well, I say that the drinks package includes most things. There are certain things that aren't included. For example, the robot bar, which we'll show you as well. But yeah, depending on what type of room you want as well. You can get cheaper rooms, for example, inside rooms. Then you have window rooms, you have balcony rooms, and you have go up to suite level. The more people you put in a room, the generally cheaper it gets as well. Msc can do some great deals for solo parents, and 2 rooms if you have a bigger family, and over certain ages, discounts, etc. So check all that out too. But for us, if you could get 4 people in a room, it generally works out cheaper. It also depends as well if you want extra perks. So if you're bothered about going to the spa, for example, which some of us wanted, and if you want to be able to go on a sun deck that less people can go on and you've got more chance of getting in a jacuzzi, The Aurea class is something that you might want to look at. So for some of us, we booked the Aurea class. We were able to just go in the spa whenever we wanted to, and we could go on that sun deck and jump in the jacuzzi without having to be with everyone else that was on the ship. And it was a busy. The ships are generally fully booked for these 2-nighters that they do in the summer months. We hoped it would be a little bit sunnier than it was when we went, so that's a shame. But we still used the hot tub, and it was still nice to be able to go into that bit of space where other people weren't as much. The other thing to think about as well is that if you book Bella or Fantasia, there's 2 levels. The Bella is cheapest for a reason. You have less ability to move things around or cancel, etc. And so just check all the T's and C's before you book anything. But for us, Aurea was the right option because of what we wanted to do in a day, and that was spend a day in the spa. And the spa is amazing.
So we were in an Aurea balcony room, which was on level 11. It was room 153, and when you came out of it and turned right, there was a lift right next to you that took you straight to the Prosecco bar, and there was no one on our right either, so it meant there was far less noise. So definitely book that room if you want Aurea level balcony. Another feature unique to the MSC ships is the Swarovski crystal staircase, which I believe each step costs £5,000 to build, which is mad, but then cruise ships cost millions. So here's another unique thing to MSC, and not all the ships have it, but Virtuosa does. It's an 80-metre long LED screen above you in the Galleria, which I think is what they call this big long runway that all the bars, restaurants and shops come off. This big long strip is covered by this 80-metre screen that has shows. I love this strip. It's really busy, especially at night when people are coming out of the shows or going to restaurants, shops, etc. But you can walk through the upper level a bit more quieter as well. We decided not to do any specialty dining, so we didn't pay for anything. We just used the main dining room, the MDR, that was assigned to us, or went to the buffet. The MDR that we had, Il Campo, was great. I was a bit nervous about being able to seat 15 of us at the same time. It was open from 6 to 9:30 from memory. We went right at the start. There was never a problem getting a table altogether, and the food was really nice. Here's the menu that we were given one of the nights in the MDR, and I'll also share the kids' menu just so you can have a quick look. Most things are included, but if there's a surcharge, it will tell you. And also, if you're hungry, you can order a couple of desserts or a couple of starters, which I normally do. Although the 2 nights are normally a bit more party cruise, there were still lots of families on the ship too. There is so much to do on cruise ships, and Virtuosa is no different. There's too much to do in the 2 days, but I'm going to quickly go through everything that we got up to.
So you can go to the shows, which were great. There's 2 theatres on the Msc Virtuosa. The 2 theatres, one is free to go to, and on our sailing we had an incredible singer. She was fantastic, did lots of the diva stuff. We were all up and dancing. And I also went to see a performing arts school that had come on the ship and were doing some incredible dancing. They obviously taken a very long time to learn it, and that was in a day, and I thought that was lovely. I haven't seen that on ships before, but there's a whole host of shows and activities that you can sign up to. I think Tucker was on there, who's a really good comedian that I've seen on P&O before, and he is hilarious. We didn't get to go to that one because we were at the white party, but yeah, so that was good, and that's on the theatre. Now, on the Msc Virtuosa, you cannot take your drinks into the free theatre. So we'd all got a really nice champagne drink, and we got there and we were in the queue, and they're like, you have to get rid of it. So everyone sort of drank it quite quickly or disposed of it. So don't bother getting a drink before you go to the theatre. Having said that, if you do the paid for theatre, which is at the other end of the ship at the back of the casino, and if you book that show in advance, it's £9. You get the show and a drink, because if you have a drinks package, you might not care so much about the drink, but you still save yourself £6, because when you book it on the ship, I think it's £15. The free drink was gross in my opinion, because it was really strong, but that's just personal opinion. What I will say is that I wasn't sure about paying for a show because we'd had the free shows, but I thought, I'll give it a try. We've not done one before. It was incredible. I've done a lot of shows on a lot of ships, and it's probably up there in my top 3, maybe even top 2. The skill level, the people spinning around by their hair, legs. I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but I know it was fabulous, and it was all above us, all on the thing. And the one we did was sort of loosely related to chess. I think it's like a chess game. I would go and see it again. It was amazing, and even though we turned up just before it started, we managed to get front row seats. Maybe people didn't want to be as near these people spinning around on rollerblades or whatever else I did. It's bonkers, but it was fabulous. The cast are incredible, so I would highly recommend going to that show. So as I mentioned, you've got a casino to go and play at. That is real money as well, so what you lose, and if you win, you win. So there is a big casino. It's only allowed to be open when you're at sea, so that's well worth checking out. The robot bar is always fun to have a look at, even if you don't order yourself drinks. It's not part of your drinks package, and I think it's about £15 a drink, maybe a bit less. But yeah, the robot bar is really good fun. and then you have the whole area of water sports. So if you want to go on water slides or on the rope climbing outside, you can do that too. It's only open at certain times, weather dependent, but it's there. You have a small arcade, you have a Formula One simulator, a 4D cinema, all that sort of stuff inside. Now, if you are travelling with children, they can tap their cards and they can spend on that, so you can go and have the cars restricted, because you don't want to be running a huge bill on those types of things.
This gives a slightly better view of the rope walkway. There are height restrictions on some of these things as well, so just double check before you maybe get a disappointed kid that wants to do it, but they're a bit too short. And there was a massive splash pad too, so if it's hot enough, I'm sure the kids would love that. On deck 15, they have this indoor tropical area which has an indoor pool. They can open the glass roof as well if it's really hot, and there's a bar in there too. In the evening, there's so much to choose from karaoke to quizzes to live music like this duet, or do you want to go see a live band? You could really pick what you wanted to see. This band were incredibly talented and really good fun too. You can see our inflatable friend made it onto stage. You wouldn't normally see one of these on a normal cruise, but on the 2-nighter party nights, they're a bit more fun. There's lots of groups there for different reasons, and the hen and the stag do's I saw were really well behaved. There was no one doing anything stupid or the things that you might have read on some of the groups or the Facebook pages. On the way to the MDRs, the walls are decorated with bottles of wine, but there's also these 2 machines, and if you tap your card on the machines, wine will come out so you can self-serve. However, the spout comes straight out, so please make sure you have a glass in your hand ready, or it will go all over the floor. We may have found that out the hard way. And also they had this room, which actually has some people in it sometimes, and I think it's called Gym, don't know, don't go. I'm also not someone that really shops on a cruise ship, but they did have this really funky iris bar shop where you can basically get photos of your irises done and printed out onto canvas or whatever, and lots of people were doing that. They also have an incredible chocolate shop. Like, what they build out of chocolate is pretty insane, and a few other shops as well, with the handbags and the perfume and all those lovely things you get on a cruise ship. They did some really nice coffees and hot chocolates in this shop, but also at the back right, there was new machines where you could design your own chocolate bar, and that crab is also made of chocolate. As mentioned, we could go to the spa because we were Aurea class, but you can still book to go to the spa if there's availability. You can also book treatments as well, which I think may get you some access to the spa too. The spa had a few jacuzzis, some steam rooms, etc. It was nice. We enjoyed our time in there, and it was something to do when the weather wasn't that great either. So yeah, I would recommend it if you're a spa sort of person and you wanted to give it a go. We booked so early, we had some onboard credit to spend, so we each picked a different massage or facial that we wanted to do on one of the mornings. So this is the TV studio. In here they do quizzes, they have karaoke nights. It's just a really nice space to get together. On the opposite side of this, you have Masters of the Sea, which is the basically British type pub that you get on board the ship. My favourite bar of them all is the Sky Lounge. It's an adult only area, it's very near to the kids club. It has beautiful views that you can see sort of at the back of this video, looking out over the sea. So when it's not too dark, you can get up some really nice views, but at night also the ambience is lovely. They have pianists, celloists, saxophonists, depending on what's happening that night. And it's just a really relaxed but vibey space as well to get together. So we would meet up as a group, and we were trying to work out where we were going to go on the white night because the weather hadn't been great. We were getting mixed messages as to where the white party was going to actually be. So we thought it might be by the swimming pool inside. We thought it might be out on deck. So yeah, we just all decided to come in here, warm up and get a drink before we worked out where to go next. The white party had kicked off out on deck, so we rushed out to join in with the fun. It was windy and cold, so definitely bring a white jacket or jumper with you. You don't have to wear fully white, you can, lots of people did, or you could just wear a white t-shirt or white trousers or nothing white if you don't want to. There's no rules, they don't enforce it. It was all lit up, the music was really loud, the entertainment team were great fun. It was probably my favourite night on there. We had a really good time.
Open
So the great thing about Msc Virtuosa is that there are bars everywhere. You might have to queue a little bit longer if you want a specialty cocktail made for you, but if you just want a Prosecco, a wine, a beer, something like that, they had loads of pop-up stations too that you could just go up to and grab a drink. We had booked before the 15 drink limit had come in. I don't think we still managed to drink the 15 drinks per day by any means, but that's definitely something that's I think's coming now, so they scan your card and just keep tabs. You can go over the 15. I think you just end up having to pay for them if you did manage to drink your whole limit. One of our top tips is that during muster, when you have to go to the part of the ship to meet your muster station and watch a video in your room, the bars are shut completely for that entire hour. So make sure you and your party have a drink in hand before that hour starts, if that's something you care about. The other things to think about is, what do you want to do when you're on the ship? Some of it you'll be able to work out before you go, because you can join the Facebook groups and you'll know the sort of themes that they're going to have. So what fancy dress do you want to take? If anything, you're going to dress up for any of the nights they might have. They don't generally have a gala night on a short cruise. Also, what do you want to do? So when you're on, you can look at your app, or you can look at the screens around the ship that are interactive, and you can work out what you want to go see. Some of the shows need booking, and there are some screens around the ship where you can book those, or you can book it on your app again. You might have to do it individually per room. Normally one person per room can book for everybody, but if you have lots of different rooms travelling together, you'll need to work that through as well. Also in the shop, they have loads of MSC gear, but the one I like the most is the Lego ship, which my little boy absolutely loved. And my final tip is that you don't have to go to the buffet for breakfast. You can go to an MDR and have a nice sit-down meal. I love having something like eggs Florentine, and that is included in the price as well. A huge big thank you to Sarah, our beautiful bride, and for all the hens and for all the hard work you put in to give her an amazing send-off. I hope you enjoyed the cruise as much as I did. And thank you to everybody for watching this vlog as well. Hope it's been useful. Please give us a thumbs up or subscribe if it has. And keep following the Travel Mama journeys. Thank you.